Next, a lot of people are only interested in networking up, whereas you can do a lot of networking down. There's a whole bunch of people out there looking for a chance, and if you network that way correctly, you can also do very, very well. I've said this loads of times. People say to me, how do I get rich? And I say, find someone who will pay you $10 to do a job, and find someone who will do it for $9. Because that way, you de-link your time to your money. Time is finite. You only have a certain amount of hours in the day. Money is infinite, effectively. So if you find a way to make money without it requiring your time, then you can scale it infinitely. There's no reason why you can't scale it infinitely. So if you know a whole bunch of people who are looking for money or looking for a job or looking for a break, what you have to do is you have to vet them, make sure they're competent. And that's what I mean by networking down. So everything I've just told you about networking up, you have to reverse and do it the other way around. So you may have a younger brother, you may have some kids in college, you may know this guy, you may know a dude who works in fucking, I was about to say Blockbusters. Blockbusters hasn't even been open for years. Blockbusters. He's the only guy who still works for Blockbusters, standing there on his own. Works at Blockbusters, and he wants a chance. If someone ever goes to you, and let's say you're driving a half-nice car or something, they say, oh, they know you make money online. Oh, how do you make money online? Say, oh yeah, well, you know, I've got a few things. I've got this business going. Maybe we could work together sometime, but... And then you have to get them to validate themselves. You have to say, yeah, maybe we can work together sometime. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this course? Or have you heard about this kind of marketing? Or have you looked into drop shipping? Yeah, send me an email about it. And see how much they apply themselves. And what you're going to find out is maybe 9 out of 10 are time wasters. But you're going to have the one guy who really wants it. And now you have someone who's prepared to basically work for free in many cases. Work for free in many cases just to have a chance at life. And that's the kind of thing that can be valuable. Networking up is fantastic, but networking down is just as good. I knew a guy who said, you need friends in high places and you need friends in low places. And he was absolutely correct. We could go through, in his town, we go through any McDonald's drive-thru, it was free. Go in any liquor store, the vodka was free. He knew everyone at the low places, and he knew the mayor of the town. So having people in low places is just as important as high places. So you're sitting here trying to make a list of all the people you know who are important. You now have an action list. You have to provide those guys value. Fine. But you also have a whole bunch of people looking for a chance. And if you're higher value than them, you're the value. Now you're the prize. You got to find a way to motivate them to work for you. And this is one of the biggest keys to networking, because if you do this effectively, then you're going to be more and more. You're going to push yourself higher up the ladder. You can find a whole bunch of college students. Let's say you have, I'll give you an example. You can go on Fiverr right now. You could invent a graphic design company. I own a graphic design company. You can make a website. You can lie on the website and say you turn over millions of dollars. You can go to a graphic design college or know some kids who do graphic design. You can go to them and say you're going to give them all interviews. They've designed 3 logos. You can go on Fiverr and say you design logos for $50 each. And when people pay you $50, you'll get them to do it for free and you keep the money. That's just a very basic idea, but it's a very basic example of how you can network lower by just feigning. When I say feigning competence, it's not even feigning competence. You're competent enough to make a website. You're competent enough to get the jobs on Fiverr. So by just being competent and just coming across as a more higher value person, you can network down and get people lower than you to do work for you. And that's another thing that a lot of people don't do. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because if the people below you prove themselves to be especially competent and prove themselves to do a very good job, then you're going to elevate them. If you have one guy who does fantastic logos, he does them in 20 minutes, he gets them straight across to you, and he's ready to work like a dog, well, then you're going to have a real company, aren't you? Because you're going to hire him. Say, okay, you're the guy. I'm going to use you all the time. I'm going to put more ads on Fiverr. I'm going to get more jobs. You're going to do them all. I'll give you X amount of money per logo. I'll keep the rest. Bang, done. So networking down is a fantastic thing. It doesn't make you a bad person, because if you find someone of competence, you're going to elevate them. And that elevates you. You now own a graphic design company. You didn't own shit. Now you own a graphic design company. Now you can be emailing all the 5 important people I told you on your list, the 5 important ones, and you can be saying, hey, just looked at your logo. Yeah, it's really good, but I've got this graphic design company, and I just had my guys have a look. Here's a few proofs. I don't know if you'd be interested. Something to think about. Let's catch up soon. Bang. Send a couple free logos to an important person. Let them sit there and go, that's interesting. So you've networked down, and now you're providing value to people higher than you. The whole thing about networking is providing value. Walking around in a suit and handing out your business card and saying your name isn't providing value to anybody. You need to provide value, and if you can't do that, you need to at least promise to provide value. And if you promise to provide value, it has to be a genuine promise. Because the world's full of promises nowadays, and the world's full of lies. So if I was an accountant and I was doing a networking event, everyone I introduced myself to, I would give them some ridiculous guarantee. I'd just say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm the accountant that guarantees a lower tax bill. Guarantees. Yeah, I guarantee a lower tax bill. I've never had a single client who didn't lower the taxes with me, ever. And it would be so brash and so over the top, I sit there and go, really? Say, really? Doesn't matter what company you're in, doesn't matter who you use, doesn't matter if you use PwC or Deloitte or the best accountants in the world, I guarantee you with 1000% certainty, any of my clients, I lower their tax bill. Now, that person will probably talk to you because you haven't provided value, but you've assured them, you've promised insane value. Now you have the predicament, now you have to fulfill it. But a verbal contract isn't a contract. If this person emails you and goes, okay, lower my tax bill, and you look through his stuff and you work out you can't, you say, oh, okay, we're really busy at the moment, we'll be back in touch in a couple of weeks, I'm sure we can work together, and you just never email him again, he'll forget. He ain't gonna go to court and say, I met this guy in a pub, this guy in a bar who promised to lower my tax bill, and he didn't email me back and sue you. He's not gonna take, what's gonna happen? Nothing. But at least you had the chance. Maybe you can lower his tax bill. Now you got yourself a client. So you need to be providing value, but if you're gonna promise value, which is what a lot of people try and do, but people do it like pussies. People walk around, oh, hi, yeah, hi, I'm an accountant. Yeah, I'm a certified accountant. Yeah, I've got some big clients. And yeah, I'm sure we could take a look. There might be something we can do. What does that mean? I've already got an accountant. You're coming up to me saying you could take a look. There might be something we could do. That sounds like it's going to take time. I have to get all my records, all my files, send them across to you. Maybe we can do something. I've already got an accountant who I've been with for 5 years who does a perfectly fine job. And now you want to fuck around with me. I'm not going to bother. If you would have come up to me and said, I guarantee you, Andrew, you're paying too much tax. You're getting ripped off. With me, I guarantee you I'll lower it by minimum 10%. Minimum. Now, I'm going to talk to you. That's how networking's done. I'm certainly going to talk to you. Now, if I send you all my files and you look through it all and you realize that my accountant's actually fantastic and you can't lower my tax bill at all, then you just blag it off. Blag is an English word for you Americans. Blag means just like, blag it off. Okay, yeah, fantastic. Having a look here. I'll be back in touch in a few weeks. And you know what's going to happen because I'm a busy guy and I've already got an accountant and I've probably forgot about it in a few weeks. I'm not even going to chase you. And if I do chase you, hey, so there's anything we can do? Yeah, but we'll have to do it at the beginning of the next financial year. I'll be in touch a couple of weeks in advance. Take care. Just blag it off. Delay it. I'll forget. You'll move on. No one's going to court. Nothing bad happened. At least you had a chance to get my business. You had a chance to look through my accounts. If you would have come up to me and said, oh, hi, yeah, maybe we can do something. I'm an accredited accountant. You wouldn't have even got that far. So you've got to either provide value or promise value. And this is the mistake that people make with networking. You have to promise value. I said to Idris, with me, you'll win. He goes, oh, really? I said, no, with me, you're guaranteed to win. So if you get other people, I don't know, but with me, you're absolutely guaranteed to win. Yeah, there's a lot of good fighters out there, but I know how it was as an amateur. I know the mistakes you're going to be making. I know the mistakes he's going to make. With me, Idris, with me, you are guaranteed to win. And he did win. I pulled it off. But if I didn't say that, I wouldn't have got the chance. Now imagine he lost. What's he going to do? We're going to sue me? You got knocked out, bro. You can't sue me. It's not my fault. You should have blocked. I told you to block that punch. You didn't listen. I gave you the right instructions. You didn't enact them correctly. That's not my fault. But I networked myself to the top with guarantees. So you either need to show value, which is a guarantee because it's something you've already done, or you need to promise insane value. And this is the mistake people make with networking. When someone comes to me, and because I get this all the time, I get emails all the time from people saying, I'm going to make you more money, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, 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 pay me up front. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm going to say, no, okay, do it then. If you come to me and say, Tate, I'm going to sell 10 of your courses. Okay. I'm going to sell 10 of your courses. If I sell 10 of your courses, can we Skype and talk business? Yeah, all right. And then just say, okay, every one of my courses I sell, the reference is going to be this. And I get 10 course sales, and in the box it says this person's name. Then I'm going to be like, all right, let's Skype. The fuck does this dude know? That's providing value. If you're going to promise me you're going to sell shitloads of my courses, you better come at me with some convincing shit. Come at me and go, well, maybe we could try. Maybe this could. Have you thought of, not interested, because I've thought of it all. Yeah, I could try, blah, blah. No, you have to come to me with pow. Now, I know all of you watching this are probably going to try that exact thing. That's a bad idea because I'm a hard guy to sell to. But to other people, that's what people want. Especially important people who are running businesses and making money. You need to either show them you can make them money or you need to promise them insanely you can make them money. But here's what's going to happen. The smart people, you'll get the odd idiot who will agree and pay you up front. Most smart people will want to see some work first. Promise the value, and then they'll say, okay, now show me the value. And then I'll give you what you want. That's what's going to happen. And this is where the competence comes in. But isn't it better to be talking to millionaires and them replying to your emails and them going, okay, we're going to give you a chance. And then you might be able to pull off a miracle. Isn't that better than them never emailing you at all? This is the key to networking. I promised Idris he'd never lose. And he didn't lose. It worked out for me. It could have not worked out for me. But isn't it better that I promised him and took the chance than never took the chance at all? So the bakery example. You want to start emailing that baker and saying, you could sell double the cakes. I guarantee you I can sell double your cakes. And he'll go, if he's smart, he'll go, okay, do it then. And then you're going to sit there and go, fuck, how do I sell double the cakes? But at least you have a chance. Now you have a chance. Imagine you pull off double cakes for fucking 2 days. Imagine you get some hot chick to stand outside with a tray. She's your girlfriend, so she's free, with a cake, and you've given her a little bit of a script, and she convinces people that these cakes are made with some special flour or some bullshit, and doubles the cake sales. When you go back in there now and say, okay, that's just the beginning of what I can do. I can triple this. I can quadruple that. I want X amount of money. Now you're going to be having serious conversations. And that's what networking is. Show value or absolutely promise value. Stroke people's egos and have enough cash to be at the right place at the right time. The guy who owns that bakery, he might own bakeries all over the world. He might say, okay, yeah, I'm interested in talking to you. Come to our head office in Singapore. Now what are you going to do? Oh, sorry, I can't afford the ticket. Look a dick. If you're so good at selling things and doubling people's turnovers, you've got to be able to afford the ticket. You have to. So money is absolutely an element. But the key to networking is you have to come across as super high value. Another great thing about this is also how you get referrals. If you start doing good jobs for people, and you do a good job, and you prove yourself trustworthy, or even if you're at least promising to do a good job, and people see this, then they're going to be the ones who refer you, because it raises their status. So I'm the bakery owner. I own the bakery. You've come to me and promised to double my sales. You've managed to pull it off. I'm out with my other friend who owns a fucking car wash, and we're sitting there having beers, and I'm talking about this person. And now I get to say, you know what? I could double your turnover at your car washes. And the guy goes, can you? He goes, yeah, I know a guy, and this guy can double your car wash turnover. Now I get to look cool for recommending you. So remember I was talking earlier about motivators. Now I am motivated to recommend you because it raises my status with the car wash guy. Even if he's a good friend, I won't ask him for money. If he's not a good friend, I might say, I'll raise it and give me this amount. If I'm a particularly savvy motherfucker, I'll say, I want to double your car wash turnover. You give me 20%. I'll send in a guy who works for me, who's really good. They could do it for money. But in general, people don't even work that way. People just like to feel important, especially important people. The head of the bakery is going to sit there and say to the car wash guy, you know what? You've got some good car washes. You're washing some cars, but you could be making a lot more money. I know a guy who would help you make a lot more money. Yeah, he works for me. I found him. I trained him. He'll lie, but he's really good. And you know what? I'm thinking maybe you should talk to him because now the car wash guy thinks the bakery guy's a hero. Oh, wow, okay. So the bakery guy's motivation for recommending you is raising his status. And this is the motivator for most people. This is how networking's done. You do a fantastic job for one person. They want to share your business. They want to tell others. If someone came along to me and did a fantastic job, I'd want to tell other people. I do this all the time. The people who rapped my Lamborghini, for example, they did a fucking amazing job. Cheap, quick, beautiful, rainbow wrap, psychedelic, looks amazing. I'm happy to tell everyone, where'd you get that done? Oh, I got it done here, they're really good. That's human nature. So you either have to be providing insane value or promising insane value.